Order the Logansport Parks and Recreation Board meeting for Wednesday, September the 11th, 2024. Will everybody please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, so before we go any further, I think it's appropriate on the day that this is today, 9/11. We all know what happened 23 years ago. So I think before we get started, we take a moment of silence for everybody who was affected by the tragedies that happened 23 years ago. So if we can have a moment of silence, please. Thank you. Okay, Eamon.
Okay, mission statement. Logansport Parks and Recreation Department is committed to building a vibrant and healthy community for future generations through accessible recreational facilities and programs that promote physical health, social engagement, conservation, and cultural appreciation.
Thank you. Again, remind all visitors, please sign in with your names and addresses at the podium. You all received the minutes from our last meeting. Is there any additions or subtractions that need to be made? None? Okay. With there being none, we will move on. I know the agenda says we have no old business, but just an update for you guys. We have met about the cameras in the parks since our last Parks Board meeting. We're working on some more numbers. We are meeting again tomorrow at 1 o'clock. So hopefully I will have a better update on what we're doing after our meeting tomorrow. So I just wanted to bring you up to date where we are on that. Okay, with no other new or old business, we'll go straight to the Administrator's Management Report.
So we had our first reading of the BOT agreement, lease agreement, back in August. Next Wednesday is the second reading of that. So once they read through that, then the actual documents are to go to the Board of Works, so to be signed. So council approves them, but the Board of Works actually signs the document. So anyway, we are in the middle, kind of in an issue, I guess, of sorts. The Shepherd needed an additional, it's like almost, it's a little like $275,000. And so the foundation is to do a notice. We did a notice to proceed so they can begin, keep going on construction documents and some of the permitting processes and things like that to the tune of $175,000. We are amending that so that the actual materials needed for the building itself they've been ordered, and so now this will cover until a bridge until the contracts are all signed on September 26th, I believe, 25th. Yeah. So anyway, that's been taking place today. All the foundation board members are signing those documents electronically, and as long as it's unanimous, we'll probably have that completed by Friday. So the Dykeman Park the front 9 has been is to be completed tomorrow. Kurt actually asked, he said it just took a whole lot longer than he expected and is not able to start the back 9 and asked if we could do that next year, when we're doing all the other paving that has to be done along with the clubhouse. He also felt like it would give us time to see what was working in terms of the way they did things, and what wasn't. So, I don't quite know how the financing on that'll take, what kind of hit that'll take, but, I know he's had to pay more labor in that, so we may have to come up with some more money on that, so. So that should be done hopefully by this week. Actually, I think Kyle said they plan on finishing that tomorrow, and then the rest of that will be the back line, which is, 10 through 18?
10 through
Will
18.
be done next year, so. The Dykeman restroom is 99% complete, really. It just has to be hooked up to the water. At this point in the year, we're going to be shutting water down here in another month. It doesn't make sense to do that, to switch it over to the new one. So what we're going to do is just go ahead and continue with the old one right now, and then over the winter we'll make those changes. And he can, I'm taking away your speech, aren't I? I'm sorry. I don't know where the printing is on the master plan. Do you have any idea about that? I sent a note to Travis and didn't hear back from him.
I don't know. We're about
Okay.
30 jobs behind right
Okay.
now. That's serious.
We had a pre-construction meeting on the Lower Spencer Shelter with MRK is the name of the company out of Flora, Indiana, and Mike Kingery, is that what his name? Mike Kingery? And they are going to be working on replacing all the fascia boards and add bird netting under the trusses. So I think that's going to look it's really, already looks great. Just go under there. It was so cool yesterday when we were under there. The breezes were wonderful. And so I think that's going to be awesome to get that going here. So we are not going to paint it. We're just going to seal the wood. So I think that'll be more historic looking, I hope.
Well, if not, we'll know about it.
Huh?
If not, we'll hear
about it.
I'm sure you're right. I'm surprised of all surprises this week. Malcolm started working on the public access site there at Spencer Park, the boat ramp down to the Eel River, and it looks awesome. So, I mean, we still I think he has one more section to pour, right? So, okay. I'm going to let you talk about the Iron Horse Park work. Christmas tree lighting, we are having meetings for planning that event. Second meeting, I think our next meeting is next week. So I have ordered soccer goals for Bishop and Fairview because we did receive the grant from the Cass County Community Foundation for those soccer goals. Okay, and we're talking about trail cameras, you already said that. And I'll let you talk about the splash pad. I don't think there was much else here. Kyle, Dean's on vacation. Can you believe he took a vacation?
He's on vacation when they're paving the car paths?
Well, one was, anyway, so Kyle was hired full-time as of last Thursday, and so he's there.
So that's why he took a vacation, because Kyle's now full-time.
Now that Kyle's there.
Oh, okay, all right, now I got it.
Anyway, so anyhow. I think, yeah, I'm pretty well. Yep, any questions?
Nope.
I have a question.
Just come on up.
Susie Walmsley, 1616 High Street. I just wondered if, speaking of the cart paths, only getting the front 9 done and not getting the back 9 done. So I know that the golfers think that the back 9 cart paths is not as bad as the front 9, but I would like for you to, I'm just asking if you could inquire from Kurt, like, I mean, you don't want to get yourself tied into something where you're going to be spending another $100,000. So I would ask him what you've already gotten the money committed from the county to do these cart paths. And so I don't want you to get in a position where you're looking for a lot more money. So I would like to know how much money he's going to project it's going to cost to do the back 9.
I agree.
And then if we had a number, then you guys can decide, where you're going to be looking for that money at.
I can think of one cart path on the back 9 that really needs to have something done to it, and that is between 16 and 17. Because if you go, take that cart path around back to the Blue Tees, and then that back in there along the woods, it is horrible back from there on that
Yeah,
cart
it is
path.
bad,
So, but you're right, the rest of them on the back 9 are not that bad, so you're right.
I'm just telling you what I heard.
Yeah, no, and you're absolutely right. I mean, they're
I
not.
just don't want you guys to get into a situation where the county has already given you $300,000
Right.
to do these cart paths, and then next year, you're looking for $50,000 more.
Right.
So I think if you can get a
Absolutely.
commitment out of him right
Sure,
now,
sure,
to say what the increase is going to be.
sure, absolutely. Thank you.
Appreciate that.
Was there a contract?
What?
Do we have a contract? I mean, did they give us?
Yeah, we do. We actually do.
So, I mean, I don't think they can change the
Yeah, he should be
price.
locked in, shouldn't he?
Well,
But the legitimate question is,
well, in talking
Asphalt.
talking to Brian Glides over the weekend from the street department, and I hope I'm saying this right, but when they were milling out the old cart paths, the mill they had was only 4 inches wide. So then we got into having to mill more out for the new cart paths. They ran into a lot of issues in milling out more other than what was there, and the ground being soft, and it took more gravel in some areas because of that. So that's why, I'm sure that's why. Now, I want us to make sure from Kurt, but from talking to Brian Glides over the weekend, that's probably the reason why. So,
They had to use more stone.
Yep.
For a base, they had, that they weren't counting on, because there was no base to that. I don't understand why not, but there wasn't.
Didn't they do them last time?
No, not really. It was another company,
Oh, okay.
and it was just a Band-Aid. It was not
right,
a
right.
full.
This isn't in the budget.
Huh?
This isn't in the budget for 2025.
No, I know it's not. I know it.
So that's why, that's why we're where we're at right now, so. But, if we only have to do one area of a cart path and still stay under, then we'll be okay. Because like Susie and I said, the rest of them are in really good shape. It's just when you come off 16 and go back around to 17, it's really bad, so. Anything else? Kevin, come on up. We'll change it up this month. You usually have to wait on Kara, so this time we'll make Kara wait on you, okay?
There should be no wait. It was a pretty easy month. Got a few good things accomplished. We saw the Riverside lights. We trenched in a new 410 feet of wire from the putt-putt down to 14th Street. There was a break in that line, which re-energized the rest of the lights around the park. So we see lights around that again. That's a pretty good success for us. We've seen the completion of Bishop Park with the new basketball court and the new lines and stuff there. So that park is
We did futsal lines.
futsal lines. We were kind of waiting for those to get painted, and they snuck in there and painted them, and it looks fantastic. We had a really good completion of the pool season. It's all taken apart. Unfortunately, we left the splash pad on. Well, that's not unfortunate. That's a good thing. Unfortunately, while it was still on, we had a line break inside of the pit that houses the solenoids and the computer that runs the splash pad. And I got a call on Labor Day with water gushing out of that pit. So everything was completely underwater and energized. So we currently lost our computer for the splash pad. So we're working with the Vortex company that put that in to see what it's gonna be to, resolve that issue and get something back into there for next season. That's a bummer, but, it'll be up and functional. So we'll see another good year of it. I say we've been continuously keeping, parks mowed and flower beds going and keeping all the festivals, coming to an end here. We just had the completion of the first, festival down at the Iron Horse Park with the Oktoberfest. A very brisk, cool day. I saw a pretty decent turnout for the first year. It turned out real well, and then, starting this last Monday, we saw the utilities jump right onto it and started getting the new lights and pedestals for the continuation of festivals in that area. So, by next year, we'll have a lot of light and power in there for more things to happen, for growth and bigger and better things. So, we also did get our ping pong table in at that park. Haven't had a chance to try it out yet, but it is very, very neat for an outdoor ping pong table, so.
I still need to go buy some paddles and balls.
Yeah, so,
Haven't done that yet.
What's the construction down there right now? There's a,
that's the new lights, that's the utilities.
That's the light.
They're putting the pedestals in and the light fixtures. Right now, they're just working on the west side, getting it done, and then they're kind of preparing for the west or to the east. Unfortunately, like everything else, you go in with an expectation and then you run into a whole bunch of stuff underground. You don't never know what's underground until you start digging, and they've hit a lot of old brick and rock and foundation.
Oh, yeah.
It's just it's a mess down there. And I said, well, the east is where the old Salvation Army building, so who knows what else is down there. So it has taken them a little bit longer, but they've got the machines for it and they're really striving through. So it should be good.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
thank you, sir.
Did you get the graffiti cleared off?
Yes, we actually got our new graffiti remover in yesterday, and we got bottles of it over today, and they were working on getting it and did a pretty good job of getting it off the building.
Good, thank you.
Absolutely. And there is a trial camera from Verkada in that area now.
That's what you were putting up the other day.
Yeah, so that covers all the way from the entrance, all the way around to behind the trash can. It's
They didn't
70 degrees.
They didn't do anything at the Babe Ruth Park.
No, I didn't see anything.
Well, hang on.
Oh.
Other than somehow they jimmied open the men's bathroom door and went in, and they didn't tear anything up, but they literally just trashed it and threw trash all over it and all of that. They didn't do any damage to the lock, so I don't know how they jimmied it open, but they did, because I was over there the other day and I walked around of course, those bathrooms don't sit in a good spot because, they sit there between the fence, that home plate and they're in that, so there's,
Blocked out.
there's nothing you can do
Yep.
to see that, but somehow they did get in there and again, they didn't do any physical damage other than just, literally, there was poop on the floor and, which is never very good for me to clean up because that almost led to vomit on the floor. But,
Continuation.
Yeah, so, but anyway, just,
Absolutely. So, yeah, there's a camera in that area.
Okay.
That's,
and it covers.
it covers, it covers,
Part of our-
the concession there, all the whole drive, around the bathroom, Security Federal. It does back behind, the dumpster to the practice field. It does like 270 degrees.
Okay.
Continuously.
Good, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kara, come on up.
How are you guys doing?
Wonderful.
Doing great. Having a blast. Kevin got to see some of my fun things in my office. Planning for October and fall break. We're planning Park in the Box. We're going to do a pop-up art and and Howl at the Moon, and again in October, so I'm hoping that you guys will come to Howl at the Moon. In August, I hosted a table at Healthy Kids Day, and I feel like Healthy Kids Day, they've moved it so that now it's not the first weekend before, school starts, and so I think that parents can come and be a little more relaxed because they're not like, oh, I gotta go buy supplies, I gotta go buy clothes, and so it was really a blast. Coral Mackey, she was a Habitat for Humanity house recipient, and so she came and she volunteered, and her friends stopped by and started volunteering, and so we had crafts for the kids to do and just a couple interactive things, and we gave out all of our swag. I'm doing a lot of planning and connecting with different sponsors and things like that right now. I also attended the DFC and LCC quarterly meeting at Revolution Church, and we discussed ways to increase community involvement to provide programs, activities, and events that support youth and prevent underage substance use, which we're already doing that with our programs because we're having activities that are alcohol and drug-free, and so for families, for kids and families, and so that was really interesting. I also attended a convocation at Logansport High School, and this was for middle school students. They did have different times for different age groups, but this was with Speaker Tomas Barraza from Vibe 18, and he shared his story and talked about alternative parties free from vaping, alcohol, and drugs. And so it was really neat to see his energy and see the way he connected with the middle school students. And I think that was sponsored by 4C. Jan and I are kind of working on something fun for our ribbon cutting for Christmas in the Park this year. We want to have an actual ribbon cutting. We invited the mayor, and so stay tuned for more information about that. I think Chase wants to sponsor hot cocoa for that night, so I think it'll be fun. And I think I already said that working with partners and to get donations for goodie bags. Mike's going to donate popcorn for Howl at the Moon, and I think we're going to cider and popcorn and hay rides, glow-in-the-dark hay rides, so I think it'll be fun. Any questions?
We are going to start Christmas in the Park we're having our ribbon cutting on Tuesday.
Tuesday, the
before
26th.
Thanksgiving, but from that point on, it'll be open because of the big Christmas tree lighting ceremony after the Light Up Logansport Parade. We just felt like, I don't want to take away from that, and we, and I think people will appreciate, especially if they have family in for Thanksgiving Day, that they might want to go out and if they knew it was up and running, they might be able to do that, so.
Absolutely.
So we're going to open, 2 days early this year, I guess, 3 days, I don't know, but I think that's it'll help. We have plenty of days to do that, to capture more people going through. We're actually short a week this year because of the calendar.
Yeah.
And last year we had 6 weeks of being open, and this week we're only open for 5, so.
This way we can extend the fun, so it's like we're planning fall stuff, but really we're thinking about Christmas, I mean, it won't be long before Jane and I will be watching the Hallmark movies again.
Yeah,
We got lots of ideas from there.
Kara's got 77 days until Christmas in the Park, so.
Yeah, it might be, I think it's 75 now.
We have to
Countdown's on.
You got on the Facebook page, there's a countdown there, so.
Yeah, we're pretty excited, so thank you guys. I'm prayers for you.
90 days, can you believe that?
I know.
Prayers for you, and I'll give them to you at the end, okay?
Thank you.
And I did not receive an actual, did we receive did Dean put together his finance report?
You know what? I did not receive that.
I didn't get it either,
Yeah,
so
I did not receive that.
I don't know what that boy is doing, but.
Taking a break, that's what he's doing.
He's on vacation,
Yeah,
he needed the
taking a
vacation for
break,
sure. so.
absolutely.
Anyway, but I know they've had a good month, but now with all the cart path work being done, it's been pretty slow, because they're only able to play on the back nine right now, so we closed the entire front nine.
But on the weekends, they played all 18.
Yeah, they did, that's
Yeah,
true, yeah, that's true.
So, okay. All right. Visitors' comments. Please state your name and your address.
My name's Anastasia Behringer. My address is 2638 Capehart Avenue.
Okay?
I'm here today to discuss with the board why I got fired and to shine some light on what's going on at the parks, at the actual parks building. So our mission statement, as you said, it's to promote a vibrant and healthy for our future community. I loved my job with the Parks Department. I didn't take it for granted. I came into work every day and I did my job to the best of my abilities. I don't know how many days you've seen me in and out of McCord's. I don't know where the rest of you work because I'm working. So I'm in and out of McCord's a lot. In the last year, almost a year that I worked for the Parks Department, it was almost a year. When I started working for the Parks Department last year, in the month that we had the restrooms open, my restroom at Riverside had been vandalized, 3 or 4 times? I had to replace stuff 3 or 4 times last year at my restroom at Riverside because it was not being cared for on a regular basis by Matt Franklin, who I took it over from. So it wasn't being seen, it wasn't being cleaned every day. The patrons of the city seen that it wasn't being cleaned, so they would damage it on a regular basis. This year, Riverside has not been vandalized, not one time. There has not been any park vandalized, other than a soap dispenser taken off the wall is what we called vandalism, because they were trying to get more soap, because our employees aren't doing their jobs. So, I got fired for refusing to show up to work when I was told, thank you for letting me know when I was taking a personal day. That's what I said was, I was taking a personal day and I got a thank you, and it was called refusing. I said I didn't want to mow, and that was called refusing. Even though I said I would, I didn't want to do it every day because I had pins in my foot that would make it unable for me to walk. But I used a chainsaw on a regular basis. I cut down all kinds of things. I trimmed back weeds. I never said no to any job given to me. Alex, after almost 2 years of working for the Parks Department, can't run a chainsaw. He doesn't know how. He's never been.
I'm going to stop you for a second. Public meetings are not really for...
But no one will listen to me.
But wait.
Okay.
Public meetings are not for personnel issues. Personnel issues are generally kept out of the public for the employee's benefit. What we would need to do is have an executive session. Now, you're welcome to complain about the parks or whatever, but if you're going to bring up other employees, you need to not do that, because this isn't the venue for that. What I'm saying is, if you feel like you were wrongfully terminated and you need to take it above the administrator's head, then you need to request, we need to set up an executive session, because this is not appropriate for a public meeting, especially if we're going to talk about...
I tried to contact ahead of time. I tried all of you. I didn't find you on Facebook.
You didn't try me.
I don't have.
Maybe I
received no
didn't.
messages from
I
you.
tried,
Yeah.
hold on, I'll tell you who I tried. I tried Dave Smith, I tried Mike, I tried Lynn Ness, who is on there as a Parks Board
She's not anymore.
person as well. So I did try multiple people
Okay.
before.
Well, as Jason said, this is not something that we're going to discuss in a public meeting, especially if we're going to use other employees' names. And we have, myself as Parks Board President and Jason as Vice President, we are tasked with employee issues. And so what we need to do is we need to set up a meeting with you and Jan and Kevin and Jason and I and discuss, because the one thing I will not do is I will not have a meeting with just you and finger pointing without the administration of the Parks Department to be there, and I wouldn't have a meeting with them without you there either, because it's not fair. We're gonna do this out front just to hear your side of the story, be fair about it. I'm not gonna sit here tonight and make you any guarantees whatsoever.
No.
But Jason and I and Jan and Kevin and you will all get together, work out something with Jan. It's going to have to be in the evening sometime, because Jason is a school teacher up in the Culver area.
I do have a new job that isn't during the evening time, so we'd have to make it for at least a week out so that I could,
Whatever works best. It's just during the day, during the week, Jason and I aren't available because of work. So we'll have to figure that out and set something up, and we'll go over this.
That's fine, I'm willing to do that. I mean, that's no big deal, but.
Yeah, I mean, you and I are on the personnel, so we need to sit down and let everybody have their say. Again.
I have recordings of the meetings that we've had thus far without you two.
Oh, well,
I recorded both of them because even he consented to the first one.
My first question would be, did they know they were being recorded?
It don't have to. In the state of Indiana, only one person in the conversation has to know it's being recorded.
I get it.
Illegal.
Yeah, I get that. They don't have to.
I know my laws.
And I'm not saying you don't, but, I mean, I can tell you that almost 10 years ago, my brother worked for the street department forever, and he passed away. And at the time, Mayor Ted Franklin was the mayor, and they tried to cheat my sister-in-law out of all the PTO time my brother had. Now, I met with Ted Franklin to discuss it, got nowhere, got with the guys at the street department, got their employee handbook, and I went back with my daughter with the intent of talking to him again, and we were going to record it, and I was very polite in telling him that he was being recorded. I just think that's just common decency, but that's okay. I mean, I get it, it's the law, I can't tell you that you can't, but
I recorded it because of how many times I've been lied
Does
to.
not allow for recordings to be
okay.
Used at all.
So,
Video
Doesn't
or-
stop it doesn't stop it in law. I've already
So-
talked to lawyers about it.
anyway, we'll set up a meeting, and we will go from there. Work with getting the meeting set up with Kevin and you and Jason and I and her, and we'll hash it. And again, I'm not going to sit here and make any promises.
No,
We'll not do that, so.
I have 2 recordings. Do you want to hear them?
No,
Of me
not right
not
now.
refusing?
Not right now. I mean, I don't know about the future, but.
When you guys have your meeting, if they want to listen to it then, that's up to them.
I'm not.
I'm sorry.
I am.
You're not talking. You're part of the community, and you're talking when I'm up here at my,
First off, you need to understand that Susie is city council person, and one of her roles in the city council is overseeing the Parks Department. Okay?
What you're entitled to is to file for unemployment if you feel like you've been wrongfully
I already got
discharged.
another job. I already
Right.
had another job.
So what you're entitled to is to file for unemployment.
Unemployment wouldn't pay me because I have another job earning
Right,
money.
I understand how it works.
Okay.
But they don't have to give you a meeting to listen to what you have to say about being fired. If they want to, that's generous of them. Otherwise, you can just put your complaint in writing to all of the board members and see if they feel like responding.
Here's my complaint in writing.
Oh, we'll take it and we'll read it.
Here's my complaint in writing. Well, I mean, maybe it should read, like, it's pretty, like, it's minor.
They already said that you're not going to talk about it at this meeting. So if you want them to have that, you can copy it and you can
I'm
email
not
it to
talking
them.
about it at this meeting. I'm saying I'm probably just, like, can I email it to one of you or something?
Yeah.
Because it's pretty, like, it's my hand, like, it's my notes type deal, so it probably wouldn't make much sense to you guys. It's kind of the arrows.
You got, yeah, you can email it to me.
Okay, and, your email address?
D as in David, A as in Apple, V as in Victor, S, M as in Mary, I, 25 at outlook.com.
At what, I'm sorry?
Outlook.com.
D is in David, A is in Apple, D is in Victor, S is in Sam, M is in mine, I as in Igloo, 25.
25 at outlook.com. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other visitors' comments? Board members, Eamon,
No comment.
Mike,
No comment.
this is 2 meetings in a row, dude.
I know.
This is like uncharted territory.
What happened?
Jason?
I think I mentioned this once before. I know we're doing cart paths out at Dykeman. I'm still really concerned about the road the splits into the boulevard road part that goes back. It's rough, and I don't know if we have any kind of plan to repave that or
I
mill it or
had
something.
requested that in 25 budget.
Did you? Okay, that's all I wanted to know, because I, once again, took a car back there and
I
just
don't,
got
doesn't
straight.
mean they're gonna get it, but
Yeah.
it makes sense to do that at the same time we're doing all the other parking lot and all that
Yeah.
other stuff that had to be done back there, so, yeah.
And then for Bishop Park, did they put electric in the pavilion? We did?
Kevin did
Because I
that.
know they were thinking of doing that at some point, so. I think that's,
So we should be getting soccer goals, I don't know, here next week or two.
there's a lot of people in that
At that
park.
point, I think we'll, I don't know, if you want to do a grand opening or a ribbon cutting or something, because we got new shelter, new basketball court, new soccer goals.
Yeah, we probably should.
We should probably do something.
Where the soccer goals going to prepare you?
They are, there's 2 sets.
Is they going up by the school, or they get down in the park?
No, it'll be, if I understand right, it's gonna be up there in that field by the big roof park, correct?
Yeah, that's what, okay, where the goalpost used to be.
Where the
Yeah.
goalpost is.
Okay.
Well, it's still-
That's where they play now.
Yeah, I know they,
And we have to take time out every once in a while when their soccer ball goes flying over and bounces off and into the field play. Makes your umpires really happy.
Oh, yeah,
We have to
I bet.
stop playing
I
for a
bet.
soccer ball. Sam?
no comment.
Okay, well, once again, thank you to Jan and Kelly and Kara and Kevin and Dean and Kyle, even though they're not here, for everything that goes on in our parks. I know that Dean and Kyle have been really busy with what's been going on up there with the cart pass. So, with that being said, we are adjourned at 6:09.